Ain't gonna lie, I'm aiming for the greatest. Niggas always told me I would make it. Man, come on, she loving on the phrase.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Relly back again with another one. Today we're gonna be doing another reaction video. We're gonna be watching a rap content creator. His name is Matty Balls. Matty, I'm not sure how long he's been making content for, but I like his videos. He makes good content. Today we're doing rappers who fake their image, which is a common theme in the rap game because you gotta fake it till you make it to make people follow you, like you, all that likeness stuff. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's get into the video.
Important to your artistry. And for many people in rap music, historically it's been important to have a harder or a cooler image. But not everyone who has made music in this genre is like that. Some people are honest about it, but other people were likely too insecure to be themselves and decided to lie about their image. So today we're going to be looking into rappers who lied about their image, starting off with Rick Ross. Also, I want to clarify, I'm not mocking these guys or shaming them or even suggesting that they should be promoting something negative, but many fans do find it very disingenuous when you lie about your lifestyle. And to be honest, the drama that spawned—
That's a lot of y'all internet niggas, man. A lot of y'all be lying about what really be going on in your real life, but hey man, do what you gotta do, right?
From that is pretty entertaining, so let's check it out. Rick Ross has created a career that many young aspiring rappers could only dream of. He has 11 studio albums and has featured on countless songs, many of which make up his most popular works. I mean, you guys know how big of a rapper Rick Ross is. Recently, many people have seen him going viral for having a farm or through his very recent involvement with Drake. Bottom line is, Ross has been in the game for—
Yo, did y'all tune into that Drake and Kendrick beef? You don't know if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to live under a rock. I don't really know why Rick Ross got involved, especially because I thought I'm obviously not in the personal relationship between them two, but you know they've made a lot of hit songs together, a lot of which Rick Ross has been the feature. But Rick, tell me now, isn't Rick Ross one of those guys that like he has big hits, like he has Hustlin' in Magnificent or whatever, but it feels like a lot of his hits are features. Like it's never his music. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know.
For a while. He's never had a super hard image per se.
And that's no hate on Rick Ross. I actually just listened to his audiobook like a couple months ago. It was straight. It was smooth.
But he has alluded to having a tougher life. Like on the song I'm So Hood, when he says, "Snitching ain't gonna cut no time. I'll murder one of you, rob you for your last." Then
all right, someone that gets music credit and does absolutely nothing is DJ.
You gotta look more into his come up.
Officer Ricky!
1967, Rick Ross was born in Clarksdale, Mississippi. He didn't live there long though, as he eventually moved to Carroll City in Miami. Unlike where Ross was born, Carroll City had a much larger population of around 60,000 people and deals with a lot of problems that come with living in a bigger city. For Ross, these problems showed themselves in the visible crime and poverty in his area that would begin to spark interest in the lifestyle he would portray in his music. The Miami life—
real shit, that's the side of Miami y'all don't see. Y'all always think the glitz and glamour, skyscrapers, jet skis. Like there's slums in Miami too that a lot of people don't see or glorify. So I just had to put that out there.
Lifestyle seemed to influence Rick Ross's persona, along with the show Miami Vice, which he claims to be a big fan of. While growing up, Ross himself mostly kept on the straight and narrow path, but regardless, at some level he was influenced by his environment. Instead of making money in the common ways that many around him did, and in a way he would go on to rap about, Rick Ross worked at a car wash making about $30 a day. While working at the car wash, he saw a lot of expensive cars owned—
$30 a day? I mean, granted, he probably grew up in like the 80s and 90s because I'm pretty sure Rick Ross is a little bit older. But to make $30 a day, whereas if you make that an hour, you're still considered like broke or poor.
By a bunch of different types of people like millionaires, dealers, businessmen, and people like that, and he said he was very inspired by them. So even though he was inspired early to make some money, his steps toward becoming those he looked up to would not begin yet. Instead, he went to college. This is where things start to get a little shaky for Rick Ross's image, and a reason why many call him a liar. You may be thinking with the things Ross raps about, it's a little odd to think he was a man interested in further education. Well, the world seemed to agree as they discovered he not only got a football scholarship to attend Albany State, but also was studying to become none other than a criminal justice major. Quite the opposite of what he rapped about living. To be
Officer Ricky!
though he did drop out after his first year. But what followed his dropping out would only add on to the credibility issues that he would later come to face. Because after he left Albany State at 19, he began working as a correctional officer at a South Florida prison. Well, his time there only
Officer Ricky!
lasted 18 months, which to me still feels pretty long in contrast with the things he raps about. The job was no joke and not a position that you could just start a day after signing. To secure that position, Mr. Rose would have to go through a Department of Corrections training academy that required 5.
There's no way this is what he looks like. Like you tell me this is a young boss Rick Ross before serving bricks in the streets. Feeding the 305.
540 hours of instruction. That's over 20 days in training, so he was clearly committed. The CO portion of Rick Ross's life was discovered in 2008 during his early popularity. A photograph was released by a TMZ adjacent website called The Smoking Gun that depicts a younger Rick Ross in uniform while working at the prison. After getting exposed, for years he would just deny the validity of the picture, making outrageous claims, like saying that it was photoshopped. In countless interviews, he would be drilled on the topic.
Rick Ross, are you serious?
And every single time he would either deny it or derail the entire conversation.
Trick Daddy recently accused you of working as a prison guard at one point, Rick. Is there any?
Is that Vlad?
No, that's not true. But that's disappointing to hear that he said that. He said that?
Eventually, though, he admitted
He said that.
saying it was just a way to make money and that he was just using the job as a way to understand the other side of the drug dealing world.
You know what I mean? So we all did
I bet, Richard. I bet.
a lot of different things to put us all in position. In position, right. And it's not the obvious. So if Rick Ross did work at one of these places, it wasn't for the obvious reason. Right. You know, it's a lot of gold mines around people's faces that people really don't know how to take advantage of. So yeah, me and we did what we do. You know what I mean?
This clip was taken from.
So he went from completely denying the allegations to admitting it to doing it so he could understand the other side. Y'all let him get away with this. You feel me? Y'all let him do this, not me. Don't blame me, even though I still listen to his music sometimes, time and there. But that's besides the point.
From like 2 whole minutes of him beating around the bush, claiming that he basically got the job just to get in with the people who were locked up. Eventually, though, he got to the point where he was comfortable enough to just straight up admit it.
So were you a correctional officer at one point?
I was, yeah.
So going all the way back, when was that? How long ago?
Maybe when I was 20.
20 years old.
Yeah.
Since his college major was criminal.
I feel like even if you're a cop, a rat, a snitch, whatever, like, bro, it don't even matter in today's day and age. I feel like street code isn't even a thing. There's no rules. It's just whatever it can do for clicks and views. Like, I feel like no one even really cares no more about all that. Like, it's like everyone's personal brand is what really carries, and you can beat allegations like that. I don't know.
Justice. It didn't seem like his real goal was to become a double agent, but who knows? After that, Ross considered working as a firefighter, but decided to work in construction so he could spend more time following his dream of making music. DeBoss's start in music was under the name Teflon Don. After getting some traction in the music industry and making some connections, including a significant friendship with our boy DJ Khaled, in the mid-2000s he changed his name to Rick Ross. And this is another point in his career that would cause many to call him a liar, all because of his name. If you don't know a lot about the situation, you may wonder what's so bad about his name, and that's the thing. It wasn't his name. In fact, it was the name of a real person. That real person is the notorious former drug lord Freeway Rick Ross, or Freeway Ricky, or whatever else you want to call him. Freeway is known for his 1980s drug empire that dominated LA for years, and eventually led to his sentence of life in prison, ended with
why did he look like a legitimate businessman, though? Like, I really thought he was, you feel me? He was legit. Like, he looked like a lawyer, bruh.
Successful appeal that freed him in 2009.
Am I bugging out?
And he wasn't some
Am I bugging
random
out?
dealer either. because Freeway once boasted that his empire was so large they were making $1 million a day. This was in the 80s, so if you adjust for inflation, that is almost $5 million of today's money coming in every day. He's so big, in fact, that many say he's a major influence for the popular FX show Snowfall, specifically the protagonist Franklin Saint.
Do y'all watch Snowfall? Like, I've watched the first episode of Snowfall probably like 5-10 times, and it's like, it's not bad. It's just hard to get into. So let me know if y'all think I should continue to try to watch it, or if there's better shows. Like, I don't be watching TV at all. I can't even cap.
And despite how extremely popular Freeway Rick Ross was, Teflon Don still decided to pretty much copy his name.
When the streets had that kind of love for you, rappers find out. You know, they're some of the first people to find out about that, and he took it and he capitalized on it.
To be fair, Ross did grow up around a lot of similar things that Freeway was partaking in, but the key word is grew up around. He was never doing it like Freeway, as he has claimed in many songs. When this realization was made by the public, many people were upset again that Ross had seemingly lied about his past. And not only was the public upset, but Freeway himself, after being released from prison,
he got a no
decided to
jumper
sue
interview,
Rick
bro.
Ross and WMG for stealing his name as well as his image.
You know what's crazy? Before this clip plays, in his book, he literally, I don't remember exactly. I don't want to misquote it, but I'm pretty sure in his book he said like he came up with that himself. So the fact that he's getting exposed again for the third, fourth time, that he just literally stole it from this other dude, it's wild, bro. It's wild, bro.
When we was in jail, we talked, and he was supposed to come and see me, and he never did. I wasn't really tripping about that. I got out, you know, started doing my own thing. This lawyer came to me and said, man, Universal owe you $50 million. I said, go get it.
Woo! Yeah. Go get it, indeed.
Just like that. That's all it was.
Go get it.
Freeway and the public's frustration.
And I bet you he never seen a dollar, penny, cent of that money, bruh.
Reasonable, the court inevitably threw the case out in favor of Rick Ross based on a First Amendment ruling. Ironically enough, this lawsuit was one of Rick Ross's first encounters with the law. He did have a few minor charges here and there, but nothing like Freeway Ricky. All of it came after his breakthrough success, and none of it corroborates
kidnapping is just so minor.
The detailed Miami cocaine cowboy lifestyle he raps about. As his lie-filled past seeped out into the public, it got around to 50 Cent, who after getting into some type of beef with him, claimed that the drive-by shooting Ross was involved in 2013 was staged. While there's no solid evidence for that being the case, it appeared to be believable enough at the time for 50 to use it
Who
as
stages that? And then uses it against... Imagine staging a drive-by and then it gets used against you in a rap beef. Bro, the world we live in is insane.
A shot at Rick Ross because of his tattered credibility. Ironically, the beef between 50 and Ross allegedly started when 50 gave Ross a disgusting look at the BET Awards. It then escalated to some back and forth diss tracks in which
Officer Ricky
coined the popular nickname for Ross, Officer Ricky, alluding to his CO past. And it seemed like a lot of the issues that 50 had with Ricky Rose was his fake image. 50 is known for having countless different beefs and pursuing them to a level like no other, and Ross's lies were plenty of ammunition for 50 to take advantage of. In this case, 50 took more of a creative approach in his public dismantling of DeBoss through a short cartoon series titled Officer Ricky.
Bro made a short film.
Damn, Rick. Why you got me up in this man? Is it because I said you and your mama look like the Clumps?
Oh, hell nah.
So clearly Ross had a lot of lies throughout his career. But it's important.
See, all right. They say Drake's petty, but 50's pretty petty too, but in like a gangster way. You know what I'm saying? Like, Drake's a little bit more light-skinned, but like making a whole cartoon animation of someone during a rap beef, nah, bro. That's next level. That's next level, bro.
Important to note that even if Ross did lie, he obviously did a few things right, as he is now one of the most successful rappers as well as entrepreneurs in the game. And now if you see anyone during this Drake beef making fun of him, calling him a correctional officer or the police or something like that, now you know why. And just because Ricky Rose is a liar doesn't mean that his songs aren't still good. And I've enjoyed listening to them on my Raycon earbuds. Now you may have seen Raycon in a bunch of...
Matt, you're a cool guy, man, but...
that compared. Now let's continue with the video.
Yeah, let's continue, buddy. Let's continue, buddy.
Tyga is generally well liked in the music world and has a long lineup of hit songs and collaborations. Well, he now is known for making a lot of songs that people would categorize as club music.
What did he lie about, Chad? I actually don't know.
He was not always this way. In fact, some would say his early style of music is unrecognizable to what it has evolved to today. His career
Facts. Yo, I was legit when he first started blowing up, but when he had the like that black and yellow album cover, I forget what it's called. Like that was peak Tyga for me. You feel me? I don't know what he does like more R&B, I feel like now, like more slower vibes than like graphic rap. But yo, old school Tyga was different. Trust.
Has had many ups and downs like many others, but he's thrived for almost 20 years now since his signing to Lil Wayne's label Young Money Entertainment in 2008. Years later, he would release one of his biggest hits, Rack City.
Rack City, man. Rack City, man.
Realm of collaborations. One of those collaborations was with none other than Chris Brown. And it was while he was working with Chris Brown that the controversy began. The controversy revolves around his beef with Lil Durk and the spotlight it put on Tyga's debatable authenticity. The beef took place around 2014 and was one that had been brewing for a bit.
I didn't even know they was beefing or had beef. That was like what, 10 years ago? I was still in like middle school, so that's probably why. I wasn't really hip to Durk like that. Like I was, but I never thought he was like. I always fuck with Chief Keef more. You feel me? Cause he blew up like 3 years prior.
Started when the two would be in the studio with Chris Brown working on music, and Tyga previewed a song Durk was on. In Durk's verse on the song, he mentioned having sex with Tyga's ex-wife, Blac Chyna. This interaction started what would go on to be a series of IG posts as well as disses back and forth between the two. During the exchange, Durk went at Tyga for famously getting his chain snatched and pointed out multiple times that he did not view the interactions as beef, but if Tyga wanted. Tyga's responses included,
what the hell was that me? Hold on, I'm not tripping, right?
Went at Tyga for famously getting his chain snatched and pointed out multiple times that he did not view the interactions as beef, but if Tyga wanted.
Yo, Maddie.
Tyga's responses included calling
Maddie, your video glitch, man. I'm gonna send you a text. He'll answer.
Durk broke, a nobody, and denying that he ever got his chain snatched.
There was some controversy, some videos online about someone snatching your chain. Can you clear that up for us?
Yeah, man, that's all false, man. It's like, I just don't understand. Like,
eventually the beef fizzled out, but it was the
stop the cap
start of Tyga's image being exposed. There was some more drama where people accused him of repping multiple different gangs, but I don't know too much about that personally, so I'm not going to get into it. But how did this self-proclaimed Compton native go from making music that would get him signed by Lil Wayne, having beefs with Lil Durk, and repping different gangs, to songs like Tasty, the highest selling song of his career? Well, it all starts with his so-called roots in Compton. Tyga would claim that he was born and raised in Compton and often discussed the hard times this brought. Many people believed him and even give him the credit that comes with growing up there. But this was all changed when the truth of Tyga's upbringing was exposed. In 2012, a video from MTV's Bustas, which Tyga was featured on, was leaked. In the show, Tyga competed in a set of pretty ridiculous challenges, which even resulted in him getting booed off stage at one point, in part because he didn't know how to pronounce the word amoeba during a freestyle.
Where did he see the O though? That's clearly an A. I mean, if I was on stage like that, I probably would have said amoeba, yeah.
That's it. I couldn't even read that last word.
But the real kicker came from Tyga's introduction on the show.
He played off cool though. He played off cool.
He grew up in Compton throughout his entire career. Well, during this introduction, he flips that narrative and pretty much his entire image on its head.
Tyga, I got this name when I was young. My mom used to say I looked like Tiger Woods, so I just stuck with that. Grew up, not too tough. Parents got a Range Rover, CL600, doing it big. Not too much hard, but I'm still street. Yeah, it's TYGA. They say I'm not hood because I stay in the valley. They say I never been in the alley. I tell them cats, I've been in the alley.
First, Tyga has publicly and proudly claimed that his name stands for Thank You God Always, but then he revealed the truth of his name's origin, which was that his mom said he always looked like Tiger Woods, so he went with that. Second, he states that he grew up not too tough and that his parents drove a Range Rover as well as a Mercedes-Benz CL600, both of which are worth more than $50,000. And lastly, he exposes himself saying he grew up in the Valley rather than Compton. And with all the details that Tyga gave us, his experience was nothing like he had made it out to be. This comfortable rich kid lifestyle is almost a complete opposite in comparison to the childhood he portrayed. Tyga went on to say that the show was scripted and he was just doing and saying what he had to in order to succeed, but the damage to his reputation had already been done. The public struggled to believe that someone who grew up in this way would lie and give all of that up for a show. People began to see through the social media beefs and the gang member impersonator that Tyga was. Since that happened, Tyga was more open to admitting he wasn't about that life, although some people did end up vouching for him.
He was
born in Burbank or something, and then maybe, you know, he moved down to Compton.
No, he grew up in Pasadena and then went to Compton when he was older because he was going to be a rapper.
No, he is from Compton. We're not going to take away his street cred.
Well, I don't know that he's from Compton or not from Compton. He said on the
honestly, like, does it matter? I'm okay. Here's my thing. Yeah, it matters for your story, this, that, and the third. But if in today's day and age, if the music's good, the music's good. People are gonna listen to it. You know, and it's like another thing is like I feel like when you're storytelling, the story that you're telling doesn't have to be from your perspective. It can be from other perspectives as well. So I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Yeah, I really don't. I really don't.
reality show that he wasn't.
So clearly there was a lot of debate around the subject. Ironically enough, by letting go of the image he had been trying so hard to portray and leaning into what he was actually good at, Tyga actually blew up even more. In Tyga's case, it seems like the public finding out about his come up may have been one of the better things for his career.
That's fortunate because in most case scenarios, it's a complete opposite.
In the 2000s with songs like Shorty with T-Pain, but his career seemed to be riddled with lies that would later be exposed. Before he was a rapper, Plies was already fairly successful in high school. He played both ways as a wide receiver.
When I was a kid, I always thought his name was Piles, and I used to hate his accent, so I used to call him like piles of shit. But you know, I take that back. I take it back. You feel me? You a cool dude. You can make some good music, man.
Receiver and defensive back on his football team, was crowned homecoming king, was the valedictorian of his high school class, and was named the best dressed student of his class. After a pretty notable and awarded high school career, he went to college where he would continue to play football at Miami, Ohio as a wide receiver. He eventually made the decision to transfer back to his home state and attend University of Central Florida. But soon after his transfer, he dropped out to pursue music. This newfound interest came because of his stepbrother, Rennell Lawrence Lavatt, who established a record label called Big Gates Records. Plies first appeared on the song in 2003.
Y'all ever heard of Big Gates?
Ironically enough, he didn't even want to rap, but ended up being featured anyway. During a promo run for the song, Plies met an executive at Slip and Slide Records, where he would end up signing a deal that later granted connections for an Atlantic Records distribution deal. In the years following his first song, Plies...
How did he just get put on like that easy? I mean, yeah, there was less people trying to make music back then, but it's just like boom, boom, boom. I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into his backstory because that sounds pretty crazy, Maddie. I need some more information on Plies.
Dropped a few mixtapes that got enough attention to justify his first studio album. His album, The Real Testament, contained his first breakout song and one many of you probably know Plies from, called Shorty featuring T-Pain.
If you've ever looked at those massive YouTubers,
YouTube
is all about authentic and
YouTube, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me with these ads, man. Y'all killing me for real. Y'all murdering me with these ads, y'all, like on dead dog. Stop saying I'm complaining, all right? I don't have YouTube Premium. I don't want to pay for it. I just want to watch some free YouTube that doesn't include promotion every 4 seconds. Is that too much to ask for? Is that too much? No, I'm playing. It's all good though. We good.
This album are a bunch of tracks that discuss both gang life and love. The contrast between the two subjects, as well as the alleged gang life subject matter itself, are a big red flag when it comes to the fraudulent credibility of Plies. Funny enough, around the time of his first album release, Plies featured on the song I mentioned earlier with Rick Ross called I'm So Hood. In the song, Plies speaks on his image saying, "Pants hanging off me now cause my pistol heavy," and "They say I'm Fed bound. They call me high risk. I'm a full-blooded goon. Lames make me sick." Following his first major successful project and
that's a good wordplay though.
Features, Plies would continue his rise by putting out 3 more studio albums. But it was around the time of his third album that the public's magnifying glass looked his way. And when they looked, they found something pretty interesting.
They found some
dirt.
dirt.
After the release of Plies' second album, Definition of Real, an investigation by Hip Hop DX began. They decided to look into Plies' authenticity.
I actually don't know what that is.
And they were arguing that when Plies uses words like real or goon, he was referring to being hard or a gangster. Others also said that the stories he said in his music were supposed to be reflective of his lifestyle. To be fair to Plies, Hip Hop DX operated their investigation under the assumption that everything he said in his songs he lived. And what they found was that Plies had no criminal record in his home county. They then went on to search other surrounding counties in Florida's public criminal record system. They discovered that in total, Plies had only ever been arrested twice in his home state of Florida. So you might be thinking getting arrested twice isn't something to ignore or scoff at, but it turns out these arrests occurred
or brag about
2 years prior. This means that they were right around the release of his first album, so it kind of defeats the whole come-up story he had portrayed in his songs. And obviously a criminal record is nothing to be sought after.
Thank
There's
you.
definitely a real chance he was never caught, but with this information and more to come, it's hard to see Plies as a common criminal. And on top of that, his arrests were for resisting an officer without violence, and his second was because of an incident that occurred at a concert of his. I'm not going to go super deep into the concert drama, but there were some shots let off by Plies' brother, which led to his car getting searched, which led to him getting a misdemeanor for possession of a concealed weapon. It wasn't a big deal though, as he just posted bail.
How?
In the contest. Back to Hip Hop DX's
That's crazy. How do you only get a misdemeanor for that?
There were a few traffic violations and some civil suits. As Hip Hop DX states though, none of these county databases nor the FDLE's report include any juvenile criminal record that might have existed for Plies prior to his 18th birthday. They also point out that first-person accounts of criminal activities on Plies' part are conspicuously scarce in his raw rhymes. They then go on to talk about how many of his songs seem like stories from other people's perspectives. But
what did I say earlier? What did I say? What did I say? Chad, I swear to God I didn't watch this video before. I promise. This is new.
Are the occasional past tense references to what appear to be the claims of his own criminal activity. One glaring example can be found during his lament on the suffering his alleged criminal activities caused his mother on Runnin' My Mama Crazy, in which he recollects, "Remember the nights me sitting up in a cold cell? I'm waking you up out your sleep. It's me calling you from jail." While passionate, his verses claim that he was ever in a cold cell now appear to be untruthful, as according to the FDLE's report, Plies was never in jail for any period of time prior to 2006.
If you're gonna lie, make it realistic, man.
That Plies has also produced a contemptuous image for himself on the screen, including his portrayal as a high-rolling drug dealer in the video clip for Worth Goin' Fedfo. Another issue for Plies' credibility happened when Jamie Foxx famously discussed a situation he had with him. It all started with an initial phone call with Plies, where, as Foxx states, even Plies' voice was a big shock from what he was expecting due to the content of his music.
Plies. I didn't know anything about Plies. I only heard the good records.
Wow.
I'm on the set with Plies to do this.
Jamie, what are you trying to say, bro?
this video, and when I heard Plies talk to me, it blew my mind, because when I got on the phone, I was trying to get where he was. Yo, what's up, nigga? What we doing with this video, cuz? And he was like, first of all, I want to make sure that we have the particulars. I'm not kidding.
Right. Further down the road, when the two were together on a set for a video,
is it bad for African Americans to be educated and talk, you feel me, formal? Is that a problem, sir? Is that an issue, my nigga?
A group of guys would approach in what Fox details an intimidating manner. When they approached, Plies, The Dream, and both of their security teams ran. Jamie said he approached the group and calmed things down, but Plies' actions had already been burned into Fox's mind.
So I get out there, we can't find Plies. And I understand why. You know why? Because he was afraid for his life. Because you never know, he could have died.
He ran to the bathroom.
As it turns out,
the
rapper 40 Glock, who recounts a similar interaction going down, stating he wasn't even there to cause any issues.
This jumped up and ran himself in the bathroom, cuz. We wasn't coming to do shit to that nigga. He just jumped up and ran, cuz. You know what I mean? We was coming to hit him up and talk to him, let him know what's going on, like da-da-da-da, but nigga, come to sock this nigga or do nothing. As long as he wasn't setting up file, you talking some real niggas.
But regardless, following the incident, a beef was started that resulted in Plies releasing his diss letter to the industry, and then 40's response returned to sender. It's important to note that Plies denies any of this going down the way that Jamie Foxx does, but to be fair, who would even admit to it going down like that?
Exactly.
Especially when your credibility is on the line.
Exactly.
Plies even spoke on the incident saying, "People lie to enhance their situation," which is pretty ironic. With all of this being said, Plies is still generally well-liked and well-regarded for his intelligence. Some say his retelling of stories, many of which allegedly are rumored to come from his family members rather than himself, pose a negative effect and take advantage of those who actually go through what he talks about in his songs. Regardless, nowadays Plies has mostly been seen on social media in a series of comedic, lighthearted posts that give advice to the youth, as well as dropping the occasional song or project here and there.
There
so
we
if
go.
there's anything to be learned from this video, it's that it's okay to be yourself, especially in the music industry, because if you lie, people will find out about it and clown you for the rest of your career.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, Matty Balls. That's a great video. W video. He said he couldn't have said it best, man. Like, the more you lie, you're just digging yourself a deeper hole, or in, entertainment industry, that situation a deeper grave. So that these internet niggas, they gonna find out regardless. So you might as well just be who you are, and then, you feel me, try to make it out that way organically rather than try to make up this whole facade. But that is the end of the video for today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Posting one of these a week, man. Till next time.
They can't stop me, they can't hold me. 2-4, bitch, I'm great like Kobe. You ain't gang, you remind me of the police.